Well, it is the proverbial calm before the storm here at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races as we gear up for what promises to be one of the greatest nights of racing we've ever seen here at Charlestown, and I don't think that's hyperbole. It is a fantastic card lined up for our 9th annual Race for the Ribbon. It is a 12-race card, which is headlined by the Grade 3 $300,000 Charlestown Oaks, 7 stakes total, a number of very nice allowance and maiden special weight events sprinkled in, but most importantly, it is a day and a night where we can raise both awareness and funds for the fight against breast cancer right here in West Virginia. We kick things off at 8:30 on Saturday morning with the annual Race for the Ribbon 5K race and walk. Follow that up with a ceremonial walk around the track. Then throughout the day, we have the pink lemonade stand. We'll have a silent auction as well as the pink hat contest. You're going to want to get involved with that. So just a fantastic day and then night of racing that we look forward to here at Charlestown. We look forward to diving into a juicy wagering card. It is a fantastic card lined up. 3 pick 4s available as well as the all stakes pick 6. And to get you caught up in case you missed it last month, we did add a pick 6 to the wagering menu here at Charlestown. It's the Charlestown 612. It's a jackpot style pick 6, and of course the 6 refers to how many winners you need to pick, and the 12 refers to the industry low takeout of 12% on a daily basis. The way the rest of the pool breaks down, 75% goes to those who pick 6 of 6 on a given day, 5 of 6, we've even seen a 4 of 6, and then 25% goes into that carryover, which as of filming on Friday before Charlestown Oaks night, it is upwards of $14,700. So we will see if that makes it into Saturday's card. If it does, it promises to be a very enticing wager for bettors around the country. Looking forward to that. The first mandatory payout, by the way, will be on Breeders' Classics night, which will again be coming up in the middle of October. We will dive very much into that before that event, but for now, let's take a look at this Charlestown 612, which again, all stakes. In terms of how the field sizes stacked up, 9 in the first race and then full fields the rest of the card. Again, those last 5 races, all at least 10 horses entered. So again, hoping that those races stay together, and if they do, it's going to be a doozy of a wager. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Charlestown 612. We'll start with the 7th race. It is the Rachel's Turn. It's for 2-year-old fillies. They'll be sprinting the distance of 4.5 furlongs. I'm going too deep. I'm not going to knock anybody, obviously, for going with number 6, No Blame. She's a West Virginia bred daughter of Blame for the Joe Sharp barn, and she's a perfect 2 for 2 so far in her career, has done nothing wrong. You gotta think she's going to go off a pretty short price. So if you're looking to beat the favorite, the horse for me is number 5, Bound to Windsor. If you're a speed figure person, that number is not going to jump out, but if you are a replay watcher like myself, you will note that Bound to Windsor just ran a simply monster race in her debut. She stumbled almost to her nose at the start, then split horses going up the backstretch, circled 4 wide, was 6 wide at one point according to the comment in your programs, and just ended up drawing away an ultra impressive debut. If she comes back, if she breaks better, I think that she can give No Blame a run for her money. Those are the 2 for me to kick things off in this pick 6 sequence, the Charlestown 612. Next up, the 2-year-old boy's turn. It's the Henry Mercer Memorial. I'm going 3 deep in here. We will touch on the 2 outside runners that I included, the 9 and the 10, Dionysus Chalice and True Air. Both of these horses, again, very stylish in breaking their maidens, and I felt that Dionysus Chalice, again, probably from a speed figure standpoint, probably the best debut for a West Virginia bred 2-year-old to this point. Obviously a lot of pedigree there. Fibersond, he's a half to Speightstown, and IRAP, and out of the mare Athena Grand, who was the dam of Poseidon's Prize. It was a very talented 3-year-old for the Figgins barn. True Air looking to get back on track after a not great effort there at Delaware, but if he runs back to his first race at Charlestown, he very much fits. But the horse that I think is going to go off as the favorite, and deservedly so, is the 4 William and Mary. He was bet off the board in his debut, went off at 4 to 5, the word was out, and it proved to be good word as he got up just barely by a half length there in that debut race. And so assuming that with that race under his belt, assuming he breaks well, which is clearly so important in these 4.5 furlong contests, I think he's the horse to beat, and I do think that he will end up going off the favorite despite not having the top speed figure in here. How about just a quick statement on where things are in the West Virginia bred ranks? I'm not including a West Virginia bred Uncle Mo or a West Virginia bred Scat Daddy, although I think that both Owens Mo and Owens Way have bright futures. just not for me tonight on Saturday night, going 4.5 furlongs here at Charlestown against this field. We close things out then with the last 4 races, which will also offer a 50-cent pick 4, but it is the Sadie Hawkins, the 7 furlong event for the West Virginia bred fillies and mares, and these last 2 of the West Virginia bred races also intriguing because we have some 3-year-olds taking on olders for the first time, and we'll start here with Moonlit Song. She's the 10, she's well drawn to the outside, she figures to be very forwardly placed. I don't think that she needs the lead, clearly, as we saw in her last race there in the Sylvia Bishop, but I do think that there's going to be quite a bit of pace in there for her to stalk. But again, wouldn't shock me if she ended up on the lead either. I think T-Rex Express could certainly go. I'm going 1, 7, 10. The 1 is Romantic Cork. I think it could set up best for her. We might actually get a little bit of value on Romantic Cork in this spot. And then the 7 is Spa Creek. I know that her stablemate, T-Rex Express, beat her last time, but I think that, again, going 7 furlongs here at Charlestown, I just think Spa Creek's a little bit better than her stablemate. The final 3 races, the 10th race is the Frank Gall Memorial. It's the West Virginia bred boys' turn, and this is where, for pick 6 purposes, I'm going to take a stand against the likely favorite, number 4, Charitable Annuity. He is a past Breeders' Classic champion. For me, I just feel like Start Line, he is an ideal 2-turn horse here at Charlestown. I think that's what he likes to do. I think that's what he wants to do. I think that Charitable Annuity wants to run all day, and so I see this as sort of a prep for him. Can he win it? Absolutely. If you just look back 2 races ago, that race where he went 6.5 and 118 here at Charlestown, not a bad time at all. He certainly can win it, but I just see this race sort of being a prep, a stepping stone to their big goal, which is, as always, the West Virginia Breeders' Classic coming up in October. So for that reason, I'm taking Start Line. I think that he has the recency edge. He's riding a very good streak. He really should be 3 for 3 in his last 3 races, but just a miserable start 3 races back. So I look for Start Line to get the job done in the Frank Gall. Close things out with the Pink Ribbon and then the Charlestown Oaks. The Pink Ribbon, it's a $50,000 race, and this could probably be a grade 3 in its own right. Just a salty, salty field. I had to go 5 deep in here. Line of Best Fit, she ran 3rd to a filly named Songbird. Have you heard of her? I think I have. That was 3 races back, and she does have a win here at Charlestown, does Line of Best Fit. The 4 is Rose Tree. She's an up-and-coming 3-year-old filly who wasn't able to get into the Charlestown Oaks, which drew, I think, 18 horses. Just insane. The 5 is Renaissance Rosie, first off the claim for Amy Albright from the Jeff Runco barn, giving her the local edge. She does have the local experience edge on this field. Sweet on Smoky, have to include for Claudio Gonzalez there, and she too has a good record here at Charlestown. A couple of runner-up performances in stakes races. And then finally, Kath Ballou. Obviously, I think what everybody, all the sharp handicappers, are going to note, her very solid performance at Delta Downs. Again, a track with a similar configuration to the 6 furlong nature of Charlestown. Finally, it is the main event. It's the Charlestown Oaks. It's the grade 3, $300,000 Charlestown Oaks. You're going to most likely scratch number 4, Stay Fond, and the 9, Sine Wave, as well as the 12 and the 14. So that means Yorkie Poo Princess and Shimmering Aspen draw in. The latter is a huge one for me. She is going to be my single in the pick 6. I think that Shimmering Aspen, she's out of a West Virginia bred champion. Aspen Glow won the Cavada, the richest race for the fillies and mares here in West Virginia. And so she has the pedigree to love Charlestown. She has the pedigree to do a lot of stuff. She's a $200,000 purchase by Malibu Moon out of Aspen Glow. And so I think that Shimmering Aspen breaks well from that outside post position. I think she has a nice 3/16 of a mile run into that first turn to kind of sort out her spot, see where Steve Hamilton wants her to be. And I think that, again, you just look at her work tab, coming into this race off of a 45-1 work. I'd say she's sitting on go for the Rodney Jenkins barn, Hillwood stable. No stranger to success here at Charleston either. They won a few years ago with Bandbox here in the Charlestown Juvenile. So again, it promises to be a great night. Best of luck to you however you play it, and enjoy the 2017 Race for the Ribbon.